Our next topic is Goal Achievement Program. We all have some goals or aspirations in life. Someone wants to buy a 3 BHK flat, wants to send his kids abroad for higher education. Someone may be looking forward to having a grand wedding of his daughter. Another investor may be wanting to have a lavish and peaceful retirement. However, the irony is, we may or may not be able to achieve our goals. The investor might have to settle for a 2 BHK instead of a 3 BHK, or the lavish wedding may be bargained for a mediocre wedding. The kids might end up in an average Indian college for lack of funds, and the retirement may not be as peaceful as thought. Why don't the investors accomplish their dreams? It's not always that they don't plan or invest for their goals, but what happens is, inflation gradually eats up their investment and drag them away from their goals. Now, let's understand this phenomenon, that how inflation moves the investors away from their goal fulfillment. These are the price trends of some items of our routine consumption. The price of gold increased from Rs 3,200 in 1990 to Rs 5,600 in 2003 and to around Rs 30,000 in the year 2017. You could get a litre of petrol for Rs 10 and a litre of diesel for just Rs 4 in the year 1990. In 2017, you have to pay Rs 74 and Rs 63 for the same 1 litre of petrol and diesel. Or consider a daily need item like milk, which you could get for just Rs 6 in the year 1990. Now you have to pay Rs 55 for 1 litre of milk. As per RBI estimates, WPI inflation has grown by 6.5% in the last 30 years. But as we see from this table, the inflation rate for the daily needs items over the last 3 decades has remained much higher, in the range of 8 to 10%. This means that the value of your money is diminishing over time due to inflation. Your 1 lakh in 1990 is worth just Rs 14,100 in 2017. Meaning, what you could buy with Rs 14,000 in 1990, you have to shell out an extra 86,000 today for the same thing, assuming an average inflation rate of 7% per annum. If we extrapolate this occurrence into the future, so let's say today for a Y item, we are paying an X amount. After some time, let's say after 5 years, for buying the same Y item, we will have to pay Rs X plus the price rise due to inflation. We have some numbers for a better understanding of this aspect. Every household has these 3 basic expenses: household expenses, higher education for kids, and kids' marriage expenses. If an Indian household was spending Rs 20,000 a month in the year 2008 for meeting their daily needs, that 20,000 has increased to Rs 43,000 a month in the year 2018 at an inflation rate of 8%. And if the inflation keeps growing silently at 8%, then by 2028, the household will need Rs 93,000 a month for meeting their daily needs as against Rs 20,000 a month in the year 2008. The fee of PGP and management in IIM Ahmedabad was just Rs 4.3 lakhs for the 2007-9 batch. This fee has increased by 5 times in 10 years to Rs 21 lakhs. 10 years hence, assuming a modest rate of inflation of just 8%, the 2027-29 batch is expected to pay Rs 45 lakhs for this course. Now about marriage expenses. A Rs 5 to 6 lakh wedding in the year 2008 has jumped to a Rs 11 to 13 lakh affair in the year 2018. And at 8% inflation, a wedding of a similar standing is expected to cost Rs 23 to 28 lakhs in the year 2028. Now we have assumed an average rate of inflation of 8% in all these cases. But sectors like education and weddings have actually witnessed a dramatic upsurge in costs over the years, which is way above this 8%. If the higher education cost keeps on increasing at this pace,
then it may even hit rupees 1 crore after 10 years. So, the bottom line is, the investors must be prepared to face the rise in price challenge.
Coming to the point, why don't investors achieve their goals? The answer to this lies in the fact that the investors generally set aside some money for their goals in bank FDs, RDs, etc. The problem with this approach is, firstly, the investor is investing a random amount which may or may not be enough to fulfill the goal. And secondly, the investor is investing in traditional investment products, the returns of which may be incompetent to catch up with the rising prices. The solution to the first problem is estimating the future fund requirement for various goals after factoring in inflation and arriving at the monthly investment number that can help the investor achieve the goal. You have various tools available on the NJ Wealth Desk to help you in performing such calculations. And the solution to the second problem is getting over the traditional fixed income products and investing in the right asset class that is capable of generating returns which are way over and above inflation.
To understand this better, let's consider an example. So there's an investor, Aman, and Aman has a 10-year-old daughter, Anya. Now Aman has a goal. He wants that his daughter Anya should pursue her higher education from the premier institute of India, let's say from IIM Ahmedabad. Now the current cost of the PGP course in IIM Ahmedabad is around rupees 20 lakhs. Now Anya is currently 10 years old and she will be doing her higher education when she is around 22. So this means that Aman's goal of his daughter's higher education is still 12 years away. Now when Anya turns 22, the cost of PGP in IIM Ahmedabad will not remain rupees 20 lakhs since there will be inflation over these 12 years. Now if we assume an inflation rate of just 7%, the cost of this course will increase to around rupees 45 lakhs after 12 years. So Aman wants to start investing some amount every month so that he has around rupees 45 lakhs after 12 years. So we have considered three investment options for Aman. Firstly, traditional investment product like RD or a post office monthly savings scheme, etc. Secondly, an SIP in balanced fund, and thirdly, an SIP in an equity mutual fund. Now assuming the rate of interest in an RD to be 8%, Aman will be required to invest around rupees 19,000 per month to meet his goal. If Aman goes by the balanced fund option, assuming a rate of return of 12%, Aman will be required to invest around rupees 14,600 per month to meet his goal. And thirdly, if Aman decides to go by the equity mutual fund SIP option, which has given around 15% returns in the past over long periods, then he will be required to invest just rupees 12,000 per month, the minimum among all the three options, to meet his goal. So according to this table, Aman should definitely go by the equity mutual fund SIP option for his daughter's higher education goal. This rupees 12,000 monthly investment number has come on back of this 15% return number. So let's look at equity mutual fund SIP's performance over the years to justify this assumption.
So here comes the performance snapshot of an SIP of rupees 10,000 a month in average of diversified equity mutual fund schemes. As we can see from the table, SIP has returned a whopping 21.21% over 5 years, 17.4% over 10 years, and 17.64% over 15 years. So, a modest SIP of rupees 10,000 a month has returned to the investor rupees 10 lakhs over 5 years, around rupees 30 lakhs over 10 years, and 77.61 lakhs over 15 years' time. The SIP route helps an investor create phenomenal returns on his investment as a result of its two unique characteristics, low cost and high returns. Low cost by the virtue of rupee cost averaging, and high returns as a result of power of compounding.
In the next video, we will see that how an SIP can help the investor achieve his or her life goals.